Welcome to Jesus Says It Is Finished, part 48. Today we'll be reading from pages 115 and 116. Translated Moses and Elijah are two faithful servants chosen for their experiences on earth. Knowledge of the fierce war against sin enables them to sympathize with the Messiah. These elders share the passionate drive to rescue human beings from the devil's grip. Based on their insightful memories, they relate to personal battles fighting evil and winning with God's grace. By striking a rock symbolic of God, the living water, Moses displays disobedience. Losing patience, he hit this symbol twice. His fit of anger implies he did the miracle. This avoidable mistake caused a dispute with Satan over his deceased body. Remorse and repentance allows me to claim the divine right to save my friend. To give him a royal position, I breathe life back into his lungs. Elijah endured hatred during the 3.5 years of a blistering famine. On Mount Carmel, he stood against the pagan priests of Baal. Anguish is a torture he knows well. Because God destroyed her priests, Jezebel threatens to murder Elijah. Evil spite depletes the prophet's energy and distorts his judgment. Self-reliance and a brief loss of trust in divine protection would have destroyed him without God's intervention. A bright cloud overhead awakens them to a voice from heaven. Father announces with a powerful majesty, "This is my Son, in whom I am well pleased." To hear me glorified in a magnificent ambience is an experience Peter, James, and John never forget. Initially, their reaction is to hide from the celestial grandeur. As curious eyes peek through hands covering them, the disciples feel humbled by the scene of luminous glory. While the summit welcomes a fiery orange sunrise, we savor an exhilarating evening. These partners in ministry want to stay. Dearly loved companions who focus on a goal which conflicts with the mystery of my mission are a persistent thorn. Silent in reflective thoughts, they follow me to an eager crowd that waits for healing. Sharing their experience of a glorious transfiguration could excite idle gossip. I explain why the other followers received this knowledge after my ascension. With foolish determination, they cling to a false hope that Calvary is far into the future. Closed ears ignore any mention of a resurrection. Because the same three go with me at various times, the crowd assumes the teacher favors Peter, James, and John. Our glowing faces testify heaven's glory left its sacred trace. Disappointed disciples need attention. However, I am watching an unnerved father pacing at the foot of the mountain. He brought his son, who suffers demon possession, to the trusted 9 who knew they were to take care of my flock. Sincere attempts to expel the devils were unsuccessful. When I send the 12 to preach in Galilee, each disciple receives the ability to cast out unclean spirits. Pious groups mock them. On this occasion, the devil refuses to release his victim. Satanic powers allege victory as the young man endures a terrible seizure. Priests withdraw from people who reverse their feelings after siding with them earlier. Baffled apostles cannot identify the reason they failed. The humiliated 9 need an explanation. A growing group demands my attention. Healings take priority, so I will devote this evening to 9 baffled disciples. Those who see my ministry as being irrelevant to their life struggle with uncertainties. In response, I search hearts that want to understand truth. Jewish leaders stare through me, impatient to complain. Unkind peers are eager to brand mistakes on your forehead. Judging others is unfair, so pray to recognize and love sinners on the mend. The creator of the universe knows your concerns. Demolish lies by standing on the front lines of a battle between good and evil. Faintly hearing individuals crying to be well, the parent of a tortured boy kneels at my feet and sobs out his tragic story. God's compassionate response relieves the man's desperation. While devils within cause him to collapse into a violent convulsion, they snarl at Jesus, the Christ. Flaunted demonic rule allows humans, unseen followers of darkness, and holy beings of light to witness a divine deliverance. This emotional dad fights doubt that is challenging his faith. Deep within, he wants to believe, I can command the enemy to flee.